Early last summer, the tour star Matt Kuchar took a family vacation to Nova Scotia. He, his wife, and their kids went hiking and biking, rafting and fishing. But Kuchar's a golfer, so he couldn't resist. He just had to have a look at the land where I'm now standing. What he saw nearly left him speechless, but he did say this: he never thought he'd see a course that made Cypress Point look small. That course is Cabot Cliffs. It's a dramatic layout that lives up to its name, cut atop bluffs of Cape Breton Island, gazing west over the Gulf of St. Lawrence. When Kuchar saw this place, the fairways and greens had just been seeded. But now everything's ready, and there's really no doubt. It's the most jaw-dropping new course in the world. One of the things that's hard to imagine, or maybe easy to forget until you get out here, you look at a course like this, and all of this was carpeted in forest. So you kind of try to think of the vision the architects have to not only to shape the holes, but to know what the land, or imagine what the land is doing, the contour of the land under the trees. Even for the layperson, just to look at what's been done, it's an impressive thing to think about. Part of the beauty of Cabot Cliffs owes to its designers, Bill Corr and Ben Crenshaw, two of the most respected names in the industry. But its most striking trait is location, location, location. 10 holes at Cabot Cliffs run hard along the water, and a few of them cut so close to the cliffs you think they're going to fall into the sea. The inland holes aren't shabby either. You got the sweet par 3 14th, a killer Cape hole at the 5th, and you got this beauty right here, number 2. Unique as it is, Cabot Cliffs isn't alone. It sits just a few miles up the road from its older sibling, Cabot Links, which opened in 2012 and ranks at number 82 on Golf Magazine's list of top 100 courses in the world. Set side by side on an unspoiled coastline, the two tracks are part of a single resort that has helped bring about an unlikely transformation, turning a sleepy seaside town into a must on any avid golfer's bucket list. That's Ben Cowan-Doer. He's a Toronto-born businessman, total golf fanatic. He first came out here to this part of the country in 2004. At the time, the town of Inverness was in the economic dumps. Coal mining had once sustained it, but that industry had died, taking the jobs and the steady wages with it. A lot of locals left town looking for seasonal wages elsewhere. A lot of others left for good. What remained was the land, rolling, sandy, seaside land. It was the perfect setting for links golf.
So I first stepped foot on the Cabot Link site in December of '04. It was a beautiful day, it was pretty warm, there was an ocean breeze. It just reminded me so much of being in Scotland or Ireland, and obviously I'd traveled a lot and played a lot of good golf there, and just thought the chance to do that in North America, let alone in Canada, on the eastern seaboard, it just seemed like it was too good to pass up.
Cowan-Doer had a vision, but bringing it to life wasn't going to be easy. It called for him to purchase 14 parcels from 14 separate owners, piecing together a complicated deal at a time when golf development in North America had ground almost to a halt. But Cowan-Doer persisted until he found the perfect partner for his project, Mike Kaiser, the owner and developer of Bandon Dunes. Kaiser had earned his fortune in the greeting card business, but he'd built a reputation in the golf industry as a kind of anti-Donald Trump, a powerful force with this modest demeanor and a fondness for minimalist golf design.
I last saw this course last October, and it's what's transpired between then and now is much better turf than I expected, and with everything green, just the aesthetics are so much better than they were last fall when they were sky high. So every hole, every part of the walk exceeded my fairly lofty expectations.
With Bandon Dunes, Kaiser had gone about his business without bluster. He'd also shown the golf world that a remote location could become a destination, as long as the golf was really, really good. Now, in Nova Scotia, he was trying out the formula again. Like Bandon Dunes, Cabot's pretty darn remote. Unless you wing around on a private jet, the best way to get here is to fly to Halifax. Then you hop into a car and drive some more. The trip takes about 3.5 hours. The good news is it's postcard pretty. You're driving through pastures, around pine forests, over causeways, around hilly passes, and through quaint towns with killer water views along the way. The resort that awaits you isn't formal or fussy. There are no bellhops at the entrance, no bombastic welcome, But the staff are cheerful and unpretentious, the rooms are tastefully appointed, and all of them overlook the fairways. And on the slim chance you've forgotten, the doorways remind you why you're here. Yeah, and I thought I took the game seriously. Cabot's a long way from a lot of places, but there's plenty of life around it. About 5 miles away is the Glenora Distillery and Inn, home of North America's first single malt scotch. There's live music every evening, a tasting room, and tours of this true Canadian whiskey distillery. All of which is great, but there's plenty of local color on the courses too. Cabot isn't just the biggest draw in town, it's also the region's largest employer. When you hire a caddy out at Cabot, you're apt to end up with a local character like Neil McCackern, who was born and raised here and never felt the desire to stray too far. And why would you, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. He knows every yardage, every wrinkle, and every green.
So I'm like in right edge.
Right edge,
uphill,
okay.
And
uphill.
firm.
Yeah, gotta get it there.
Foot past.
And is the ideal shot just sort of...
Right where she was standing there.
Oh, really? You want to cut it that close?
Yeah, yeah.
He dialed in the yardage perfectly. I doubted him, but I gotta learn not to doubt the man. Since 2012, when Cabot Links opened, Neil has looped the course countless times. But now that there's a second track, he divides his days between the original and the wild and woolly newcomer just up the road. We're building towards the crescendo here, right? Everybody's been buzzing about the par 3 16th, which I haven't played yet. I can't wait. Plays over this inlet from the ocean. It's just, you can tell you're building towards it. The anticipation's growing. Super cool. Kuchar likened Cabot Cliffs to Cypress Point. Others have described it as Pebble Beach on steroids. But once you get to know it, another comparison comes to mind. It's Cabot Links, cranked to 11. If Cooch could only see it now. All right.